is already electric. On the ground, it's bigger and more exciting than at this stage in the 2017 campaign. The numbers of people coming out and helping us is phenomenal. And I'll let you into a little secret. When our manifesto arrives next week, it's going to knock your socks off. You're going to love it. But I'm still not going to tell you what's in it. I don't want anyone to be able to say a few years into a Labour government that nothing ever changes, or that politicians are all the same. I want everyone to feel the positive difference to their own life. When you have the government and the people working together collectively to take on the system and make life better for the many, not the few, that's our fundamental message. And you know what? We are so confident that what our manifesto will do, that today we want to give you a little sneak preview. Okay, you're not going to get the whole thing, but you're going to get a bit. A taste of the kind of fresh, transformational policies that will change your life. So here it is. A Labour government will make broadband free for everybody. And not just any broadband, but the very fastest full fibre broadband to every home in every part of our country for free as a universal public service. And once it's up and running, instead of you forking out your monthly bill, we'll tax the giant corporations fairly. I hope they're listening to this. We're going to tax you fairly. That includes Facebook and Google. That will help to cover the running costs of this. This is a policy for the many. Making broadband free and available to all will open up opportunities for everybody. It will put us at the cutting edge of social and economic change. Because that is what we're about. Building a country that's fit for the future, fit for the next generation, as well as the generation we have with us now. The internet has become such a central part of our lives. It opens up opportunities for work, creativity, entertainment, and friendship. You saw that on that brilliant video before we came in. What was once a luxury is now an essential utility. That's why full fibre broadband must be a public service, bringing communities together with equal access in an inclusive and connected society. Fast and free broadband for all will fire up our economy, deliver a massive boost to productivity, and bring 500,000 people back into the workforce. It will help our environmental issues and tackle the climate emergency by reducing the need for commuter journeys. And it will make our country fairer, more equal, and more democratic. The full fibre broadband Labour will deliver is the gold standard. It's the fastest, most secure, and most reliable form of broadband, using fibre optic cables to take the data directly into people's homes and small and big businesses. It will help to boost 5G to people's phones too. Full fibre will deliver lightning-fast download times. It will put an end to the patchy and slow coverage once and for all, which I'm sure everyone in this room can understand and have no doubt experienced themselves. And it will save the average household £30 a month on bills. Britain's broadband network is lagging well behind that of other countries. Just about 8 to 10% of the UK has access to full fibre broadband at the moment. Compare that to 98% in South Korea. Something clearly is not working. This is core infrastructure for the 21st century, absolutely central to our needs as a society. I think it's too important to be left to the corporations. The most efficient and rapid way to deliver a broadband network fit for our times and make it a genuine public service for all is for the public to take control of it. So under our plans, we will create a new public enterprise and we'll call it British Broadband. British Broadband will oversee... Get that. British Broadband, get that name, will oversee a publicly owned full fibre network and deliver free broadband to every home with a phased rollout over 10 years. To do that, we'll bring the relevant parts of BT, including Open Reach, into public ownership. By creating British Broadband as a public service, we'll lead the world in using public investment to transform our economy, reduce people's monthly bills, boost our economy and improve people's quality of life, as again you saw from that video. And it will have national security benefits too. To me, that's common sense. The corporations have been unable or unwilling to roll out full fibre fast enough, and they've little incentive to invest in rural and remote parts of Britain, particularly hilly and mountainous areas. But under our plans, the priority will be first to those with the least connectivity, mainly in rural and remote areas, but also in some inner city communities as well, unlocking new opportunities across huge swathes of our country. And we will then move into the towns, giving a boost to local economies and making it easy for people to run a successful business outside the big cities. So it will help economic development across the whole of the UK. And finally, we'll complete the rollout in the well-connected urban centres. Ask people about their experience with private broadband companies, and many will tell you about internet dropouts and hours spent on hold listening to Vivaldi and other wonderful bits of music, which you all get to hum in the end, waiting to speak to some poor, overworked and underpaid customer service worker who probably can't fix the problem anyway, despite their unbelievable patience in the job that they do. Full fibre will provide the most reliable service, and British Broadband will be properly staffed with guaranteed jobs for everyone currently working in broadband. Under public ownership, key universal services can be run for the British people instead of for profit. In July, when he was running for Conservative Party leadership, Boris Johnson also promised to make full fibre broadband available across the country, except he expected you to pay for it. But it will be a surprise to nobody that this was just another case of Johnson's signature moving on to a broken promise. So what's he now offering instead? A low-budget option using old copper cables that are already out of date. Isn't that an allegory for the Tory party? Copper cables that are out of date? Kind of sums them up, really, doesn't it? Johnson's plans are yet another billionaire wealth grab, bringing public money to big corporations, including Sir Richard Branson's Virgin, instead of putting the technology in the hands of the people of this country. We need real change. But I know the question will be on everyone's lips. How are you going to pay for it? And it's a fair question. Well, let me tell you. The initial upgrade to our infrastructure will be funded through our Green Transformation Fund. And when it comes to the running costs, we're not going to put that onto the British public, who've already forked out far too much for rip-off broadband. Instead, a Labour government will close down tax tricks used by giants like Google and Facebook, who make millions in this country while paying next to nothing to the public services that they benefit from. I pay my tax, everybody in this room pays their tax, small businesses pay their tax. So why can't the giant multinationals? They think they can get away with not paying their share. Well, I've got news for them. Not anymore. Labour believes that the British people deserve the very best. As a country, we should be proud of our history of building treasured public institutions and services. In the 19th century, it was the public water supply and waterworks. In the 20th century, it was our fantastic National Health Service, freeing people from the fear of having to pay for ill health and illnesses. British Broadband will be our treasured public institution for the 21st century, delivering a fast and free broadband to every single home. Only the government has the planning ability, economies of scale and ambition to take this on. This is a mission for everyone to get behind. Together, we will build a new public service delivering the fastest broadband free to everyone. This will be all at the heart of Labour's plans to transform the future of our economy and our society. Labour will put wealth and power in the hands of the many, while Boris Johnson's Tories will only look after the privileged few. It's time to make the very fastest full fibre broadband free to all, in every home, in every corner of our country. It's time for real change. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Labour are a team, and we have some fantastically talented people in our shadow cabinet. Kat, who I've spoken about earlier, is absolutely brilliant. The next person I want to introduce to you has done an incredible job in both Treasury and business, and also leading the way on our green industrial revolution. An imaginative, brilliant thinker and superb person to work with. I'm so proud to introduce to you Becky Long-Bailey, our Shadow Biz Secretary, who will talk now about how we're going to bring this huge broadband initiative forward. Becky, thank you for coming here today.